Yeah, we'll start it from the next class. Okay? Because they started teaching inverse function first. It means when they will teach calculus, they will cover inverse function in that. Okay? Yeah, okay. So what are inverse functions? So functions which are reflected along y equals to x line. Now, इससे भी अगर किसी को नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, so how I say it, कि first whatever function is given, let's say y equals to f of x is given, so we used to solve it using two steps, in which step one was replace x with y and y with x, and second step was make y a subject. How many of you remember it from functions? In functions we learned this. Whenever you have to find the inverse function, you first replace x with y and then make y a subject without calculator wala. How many of you remember this? Just raise your hands. Those who do, just remember your raise your hands. ठीक है? Okay. Now guys, when you are looking at trigonometric functions, ठीक है? Every time I say, whenever we are learning trigonometric functions, we must look at the domain. ठीक है? Now focus here. If you remember this is our simple graph, parabola. So its inverse will look like something like this. Okay? Its inverse will look something like this. Okay? So it is not a function. It will not be a inverse, matlab reflection. That is a reflection. I am talking about inverse. Inverse is reflection along y equals to x. Okay? Now guys, focus here. When I say for trigonometric function y equals to sin x, when I talk about y equals to sin x, its inverse sin x का graph होता है ऐसा. It is a periodic graph. It goes like this. Yes or no? You can put n number of x values. But when you talk about inverse, the graph is going to become vertical like this. Graph कैसे बनेगा? Vertical like this. And you tell me, if you draw a vertical line and it cuts at more than one point, will it be a function? No, it will not be a function. So when we study inverse trigonometric functions, we first need to restrict the domain and range of these functions. What we need to restrict? The domain and range. So यहाँ पे देखो, these are the, yes. कौन सा वाला? हाँ. Which one? हाँ. Correct. No, this is a function. But if you find inverse of it, it will become like this. Correct? It will remain a function. If you count it only from here to here, or if you count it from here to here. So you have to restrict the domain. You have to restrict what? Domain and range of those functions. How many of you understanding this point? Please raise your hands. See, हमारा basic क्या है? What basis we have to identify whether given thing is function or not? If graph is given, we understand it from graph point of view. Yes or no? The graph should not cut a vertical line at 2 points. If it cuts at 2 points, it is not a function. Am I right? So when you are drawing vertical graph like this, its inverse will look like this. When you draw vertical line, it will cut at 2 points. It means what? You must break it in 2 parts then. Right? And you consider only one of those parts. So that's why you have to restrict the domain of them. How many of you understanding it now? Please raise your hands. Arav, Arnav, Arun. Very good. ठीक है? Ryan and Gargi. Okay? ठीक है. Next. Now let's look for sine and cos. ठीक है? Simple. Sine के लिए simple क्या है? Y is equals to sin x is the original function. Right? The domain of this function is x to 2 pi. Okay? The domain of this function is x to 2 pi. But when I write inverse of that, y is equals to arc sine x. Now understand guys, when question is writing arc sine x, You can also write it as sine inverse x. Both means the same. This and this both mean the same. Never get confused. No, that is not equals to 1 by sine x. See, to avoid this confusion, so हमको क्या पता है? If I write x raised to minus 1, it can also be done as 1 upon x. Right? So people will get confused कि अरे sin inverse x को I can write as sin x 1 upon sin x. Correct? And this is nothing but cosec x. तो देखो ये confusion हटाने के लिए they made it very simple for you. They write it as arc sin x. Right? But they will test you at this point as well, if you know this or not. Right? So these two are same things, but this is not equals to the above written thing. How many of you understood this? Raise your hands. Okay, very good. ठीक है? Now see, x equals to sin y. Now see guys, इसका डोमेन क्या है? डोमेन is from -1 to 1. डोमेन is from what? -1 to 1. So just imagine one thing. देखो, ये है ग्राफ. यहां पे मैंने एक साइन का ग्राफ ऐसे निकाल लिया, एक साइन का ग्राफ ऐसे निकाल लिया. ठीक है, कंटिन्यूएशन में. नाउ आई एम जस्ट ड्रॉइंग वर्टिकल ऑफ इट. आई एम जस्ट ड्रॉइंग वर्टिकल ग्राफ ऑफ इट. ठीक है, वर्टिकल लुक्स लाइक दिस. वर्टिकल कैसे जाएगा? लेट्स से वर्टिकल अगर निकाला, लेट्स से इट इज गोइंग लाइक दिस. ठीक है, इट इज गोइंग लाइक दिस. ओके, नाउ रिपीट नहीं होना चाहिए. क्या नहीं होना चाहिए? इट शुड नॉट रिपीट. यस और नो? नाउ इफ इट शुड नॉट रिपीट, तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? तो मुझे इसका सम पार्ट हटाना पड़ेगा. सो आई विल रिमूव दिस पार्ट. आई विल रिमूव पार्ट टिल हियर. सेम वे आई विल रिमूव पार्ट टिल हियर. ओके, नाउ इफ यू सी, if I draw a vertical line, no lines will be, a line will not be cutting twice, right? So if you see, if you look at it like this, तुमने इसको ऐसे कट कर दिया. If you look here, अरे क्या कर रहा है? यहां पे अगर इसको ऐसे कट कर दिया, if you look till here, isn't it only from minus pi to pi? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 ही जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है? It is from where to where? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For minus pi by 2, the lowest value is minus 1. Here highest value is plus 1. Correct? That's why in inverse function what happens? Your domain becomes range, range becomes domain. Correct? So इसका जो domain था minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, it became its range. And इसका जो range था minus 1 to 1, it became this domain. How many of you understood this part? Please raise your hands. Those who understood it, please raise your hands. Very good. ठीक है, सेम टू सेम थिंग हैपन्स विथ कॉस एज वेल, बट कॉस के लिए ग्राफ इज लिटिल डिफरेंट. दैट्स व्हाई वी विल अंडरस्टैंड इट अगेन फ्रॉम ग्राफ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. ठीक है. हाय मिहिर, आई वॉज अबाउट टू कॉल यू. Oh, what happened? Okay, fine, very good. ठीक है. नाउ गाइज देखो, इसका अगर मैं इनवर्स निकालूं, उल्टा हो गया, इट विल लुक समथिंग लाइक दिस. इट विल लुक समथिंग लाइक दिस. ठीक है. नाउ अगेन वी विल डू द सेम थिंग. तुमको सिर्फ ये पॉइंट समझना है. व्हाट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि वर्टिकल लाइन शुड नॉट बी रिपीटेड. वर्टिकल लाइन शुड नॉट बी रिपीटेड. So I will remove it till the point where it stops repeating. So I removed it till here. Same to same, I removed it here as well, so that horizontal line should not be repeated. So I removed it till here. Now see, you guys tell me. This point is 0 and this point is pi. This point is how much? Pi. Highest value is plus 1, lowest value is minus 1. Yes or no? So my domain is from where to where? 0 to pi. So that's why it became my range. It became what? My range. And my range from was minus 1 to 1. So it became my domain. How many of you understood this part? Please raise your hands. Those who understood this. Very good. ठीक है. Now once you understand it for sine and cos, once you understand it for sine and cos, tan will not be very much different. Tan will not be very different. Yes or no? Now see, हमारा tan का ग्राफ कैसा होता था? Normal tan graph used to look like this. It looks like this. ऐसे जाता है, right? This is pi by 2. Then here you will have pi. Here you will have 3 pi by 2. Correct? So it will go again from here to here. Yes or no? So this was our original tan ka graph. Now when you do inverse of it, when you do what? Inverse of it, it will go like this. 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 Yes or no? So instead of having all of them, I will remove and keep only one of it. Right? I will remove all of them and keep only one of them. Right? Now you see, that's why the domain of tan x, that is tan inverse x, inverse function of tan, is all real numbers. See, you can put all real numbers in domain here. Yes or no? And your range will be what? From minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. How many of you understood tan inverse ka graph as well? Please raise your hands. Those who understood and like got a point. Kaise? Right? Okay. Very good. ठीक है? Fine. Now, being AAHL students, keep these domains and range in mind. Yes, this is constant for all of them. Inverse function of sine, inverse function of cos, inverse function of tan. Right? So this you have to keep in mind.
So can you go back to the inverse function?
और या ठीक है, इनवर्स फंक्शन ऑफ tan में क्या एग्जैक्टली?
I understood how you got the tan, but then how do you do the inverse of the tan?
अच्छा, इनवर्स, अरे नहीं, मैंने बस जो नॉर्मल ग्राफ होता है ना अपना, ऐसे जो भी नॉर्मल ग्राफ होता है, आई जस्ट रैंडमली ड्रॉन इट लाइक दिस. ऐसे दिखेगा, ऐसे दिखेगा, ऐसे दिखेगा. नो नो नो, मैं सिर्फ तुमको उसका इनवर्स करेंगे तो हाउ ग्राफ विल लुक लाइक, दैट वाज जस्ट आई वाज शोइंग. ठीक है, इट वाज नॉट द एग्जैक्ट ग्राफ. ठीक है, सो इनवर्स, यस हॉरिजॉन्टल ही रहेगा. सी, इफ आई पुट हियर tan inverse x, सी मैंने उल्टा निकाला था बट इट लुक्स हॉरिजॉन्टल ओनली. राइट? या ठीक है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अंडरस्टूड दिस इनवर्स वाला फंडा? प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स. सी, पॉइंट इज वेरी सिंपल. इट इज ऑल अबाउट restrictions. It is all about restrictions. If you can restrict it within the proper range or proper input, you will get the function. If you can't restrict it, then it will not be a function. Understanding it or not, guys? ठीक है? Okay. Now, let's do one thing. Quickly, everyone will just draw the graphs. Okay? Everyone will quickly draw the graphs. ठीक है? Okay, guys, quickly draw the graph of sine inverse x. Quickly draw the graph of sine inverse x. Everyone. See, why I depend on graph most of the times, because graph makes it easier to understand. Jaise, if I draw a graph of sine x like this, I'll quickly understand the lowest point is -1, the highest point is +1. It means my domain is from -1 to +1, like this. And my minimum value, my maximum value will be what? I will quickly understand from here. Getting it or not? That's why everyone just draw this graph quickly. Everyone. जिसका sin x हो जाएगा, raise your hands. Arun, getting it or not? Arun Iyer. Avanish, Divyan.
Yes, sir.
Arav.
Sir, Dhananjay, before, I know what you're talking about. Yes, sir. Done.
ओके ठीक है. Cos inverse guys, ग्रीन इज साइन इनवर्स एंड, अच्छा ये कलर दिख रहा है ना, हाँ यस, ग्रीन इज साइन इनवर्स एंड ब्लू इज कॉस इनवर्स. ठीक है. ड्रॉ इट ऑन अ सेपरेट ग्राफ, डोंट ड्रॉ इट ऑन द सेम ग्राफ. इफ यू ड्रॉ इट सेपरेटली यू विल अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस, नहीं तो फिर ऐसा ही चलेगा सब. ठीक है. क्विकली Pranshu, are you getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Those who are done drawing graphs, please raise your hands. Only two. Only three. Guys, थोड़ा सा स्पीड बढ़ाओ. We have to discuss some. It is very simple concept. It's just that कि हमको सिर्फ restrictions. We just need to keep restrictions in mind. Ryan Williams, are you understanding it or not?
Yes, sir. Where does it cut off? The cos graph, where does it cut off? Like pi, that's pi by 2 and that's pi.
See, cos graph का, are you asking domain and range or what?
Like where it touches the y.
This point.
Yeah.
This point is pi by 2. Sine का goes from 0 only.
And the top point and the like
This is pi. This is pi. See, top point is pi. This point is pi by 2. This point is 1, like 0. ठीक है. Okay. Now, guys, the tan one. Tan का तुम horizontal कितना भी खींच सकते हो, but just keep one thing in mind. In tan, the vertical point is pi by 2 and here it is minus pi by 2, the range of it. The range is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and domain is all real numbers. ठीक है. Quickly draw it. Now we will solve question based on inverse trigonometric functions. Now see, when we solve inverse trigonometric functions, it becomes like combination of unit circle plus inverse trigonometric functions. जैसे unit circle में if I give you tan x, then tan x is positive in two quadrants, first and third. But here if you see, you can take all real values like that. So you will understand it when we solve the question. ठीक है. This one is easy. Everyone. Okay guys, those who are done, just raise your hands quickly. Yeah. Jugadveer, how are you? How was Coldplay, Bidu? Fun. Okay. Yeah. Okay. ठीक है. Let's move forward. ज़्यादा टाइम ले लिया अभी. Okay. You can use calculators for this, but we will try to do it without calculator. यहाँ पे, here you just have to think ulta. Here numbers will be the domain and angles will be the range. For normal trigonometric functions, angle was the domain and numbers was the output. So you tell me, cos 1 is the, value is 1. What is the value of cos? cos 1 value comes when the theta is 0. If you look at the domain, इसको मुझे लगता है कंपैरिजन के साथ ही दिखाना पड़ेगा. At some points I'll give you option to use the calculator, but without calculator let's understand first. ठीक है? So inverse of cos 1. Inverse of cos 1. So let's go to the domain. Now you tell me cos 1 is at what? Pi or 0? So for this purpose you need to know the graph. Graph goes like this, yes or no? Input is 1. Input is what? So value क्या होना चाहिए? How many of you understanding it? Please raise your hands, guys. So value will be 0. So x का value कितना होना चाहिए? Because cos 0 is 1, right? Now see, sine is -1. What is sine? -1. So sine inverse -1 it is asking. So quickly remember the graph of sine. It goes like this, yes or no? Input is what? So -1 will come here, yes or no? So it is what? -1, so it is at -pi/2. So -pi/2 is the answer. Guys, how many of you understanding it? Please raise your hands. 0. Right? Now see, arc tan 1, it is talking about what? Tan 1. अभी tan 1 कब होता है? Tan 1 होता है ना बिडू? Look at tan का ग्राफ. This is tan, right? So tan 1 is here, pi/4. Yes, so see, not a calculator. Now you will understand this thing. If you remember, I gave you 0, 30, 45, 60, 90 wala thing, right? So sin theta, cos theta, tan theta. This is the reason why we remember this. 0, 1/2, 1/√2, √3/2, 1. 1, √3/2, 1/√2, 1/2, 0. 0, 1/√3, 1, √3 not defined, correct? Now all these are my inputs. All these are what? Becoming my inputs. So it was talking about tan inverse 1. Tan inverse 1 is for 45 degree and 45 degree in radian is pi/4, and it lies in my range. It lies in what? My range. How many of you understanding this point? Please raise your hands, guys. See, जितना डिटेल, जितना अच्छे से ये समझ में आएगा उतना और अच्छे से हमको बाकी चीजें समझ में आएंगी. ठीक है? नाउ आई विल अगेन, टुडे आई एम अगेन गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू द यूनिट सर्कल फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट एंगल. ठीक है? सो लेट्स से हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट. नेक्स्ट गाइज, सो व्हाट यू हैव टू थिंक इज, whenever you are solving inverse trigonometry का answers, you look at it from original का range point of view. Now you tell me, tan का value -1 comes for what angle? Tan is negative in what quadrant? Second and fourth. Second and fourth. So हमको negative value चाहिए. क्या चाहिए? Tan inverse minus, so it will come for -pi/4. It will come for what? Because tan 1 is for pi/4, so tan -1 will be what? -pi/4. Now someone might say, sir, it comes for pi plus pi/4, pi minus pi/4 as well. That is 135 degrees. But one,
So are the answers the same as the table?
yes,
The arc does not matter at all. It's just like regular value.
yes, it is regular values only. It's just that it is inverse function. So whatever is the domain here, it is original ka range. Guys, that's how we solve it, right? Now here someone might have said, sir, 135 degrees, that is nothing but 3 pi/4 is also the value for which tan comes negative. But it is not in my range. My range is from -pi/2 to pi/2. It means it is in this first and fourth quadrant only. How many of you understanding this point, guys? इफ यू लुक एट दिस रेंज का टेबल प्रॉपरली, जितना तुम ग्राफ पे या डायग्राम पे चेक करोगे उतना वो तुम्हारे लिए इजी हो जाएगा. सो फॉर साइन इनवर्स रेंज गोज फ्रॉम फर्स्ट टू फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट ओनली. फॉर कॉस इनवर्स रेंज गोज फ्रॉम फर्स्ट टू सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट. फॉर tan इनवर्स रेंज गोज फ्रॉम फर्स्ट टू फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट ओनली. देखो थर्ड क्वाड्रेंट कहीं पिक्चर में आ ही नहीं रहा है. सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट इज इन पिक्चर ओनली फॉर कॉस. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस? प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स guys. See, I am recording this class as well, okay? So if you are not understanding it, you can re-watch the video, okay? ठीक है? Next question. Now see, sine half. So quickly tell me, sine half comes for what angle? कौन से एंगल के लिए हाफ वैल्यू आता है? 30 degree. So let's quickly check. So 30 degree, does this lie? 30 degree lies in first quadrant. So yes, pi by 6 is the answer of this. What is the answer of this? Pi by 6. Cos minus root 3 by 2. Guys, quickly go and check. Root 3 by 2 for cos, it comes for 30 degrees. It comes for what? 30 degrees. But it is positive. It is what? Positive. But cos तो यहां पे आता है ना negative in second quadrant. Cos is negative in what quadrant? Second quadrant. So I will subtract it from 180 degrees. I'll subtract it from what? So the answer will be 150 degrees. That is 5 pi by 6. That is what? F part. Many of you might have confused in F part. Let me ask the question. How many of you understood F part? Very good, Gargi. Okay, yes, bolo.
So sine and what other one are in the first and fourth quadrant?
देखो ना, range. Always look for the range. देखो range is going from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right?
Yeah, so it's sine and which one?
Tan. Sine and tan there, and cos from first to second. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Those who are understanding it, please raise your hands. Guys, I'll explain the F part again. ठीक है? Everyone focus here. I'll explain the F part again. See, it is not very tough. It's just that now it is happening ulta, and here many domains and ranges are given. So it's human tendency कि whenever we see many things together, we often get confused. Just follow step by step. ठीक है? So see, it is saying cos minus root 3 by 2. So first thought should come to your mind is, देखो cos का graph goes like this. So minus 3 by 2 will be in this side only. Yes or no? Correct? Okay. Minus root 3 by 2 is the domain. The answer should be greater than pi by 2. This point is pi by 2. Correct? Right? Now pi by 2 के ऊपर जाना चाहिए. And हमको पता है root 3 by 2 answer comes for 30 degrees. Correct? So 30 degrees अगर है तो ऊपर से 30 subtract कर दो यार, यहां से तुमको 90 plus 60 ऐड करना पड़ेगा. Then only will get the same value. Yes or no? So you will do pi by 2 plus pi by 3 or pi minus pi by 6. You will get the same answer. How many of you are understanding it now? Please raise your hands. Those who are understanding it. Very good. Good. Okay. Nice. ठीक है? So the main trigonometry and inverse trigonometry, you just have to switch the values and check if they are lying in the range or not. That's why you must remember these ranges. ठीक है? Now, arc tan root 3. Quickly check. Root 3. Root 3 for 60 degree. Root 3 for what? And this root 3 is positive as well. कैसा है? Positive. 60 answer comes for pi by 3. So root 3 का inverse will be what? Pi by 3, and it lies in my domain. It lies in what? My domain. Cos inverse minus 1 upon root 2. Cos inverse minus. Now see, cos is coming minus. Cos minus comes in the second quadrant. And 1 upon root 2 value is for what? 1 upon root 2 value is for 180 minus 45 कर दो. So 180 minus 45 is 135 degrees. That is nothing but 3 times pi by 4. So 3 pi by 4 will be the answer of this. अरे मुझे पता है ना, 135 इज मल्टीपल ऑफ 45. 45 2 जा 90, 90 plus 45 135. So 45 is pi by 4. So 135 will be 3 pi by 4. It is just about multiplication. ठीक है? So the answer. Now, okay, guys. Now here these three are without calculator. You won't be able to solve. So you have to solve it using calculator. ठीक है? कैसे solve करेंगे? You will put it in calculator. Where will put it? No, no, no. अरे ये without calculator solve ही नहीं कर सकते. You have to use calculator for them. If you put it in calculator, you will directly get the answer. ठीक है? Without calculator, how many of you understood that without calculator you can solve it? Please raise your hands. The first few parts. So, ठीक है. Very good. Nice. Now guys, see, if you revise it today itself at home, you will find bit confident. You will find yourself bit confident and like, okay, I have understood the concept. Mihir, just take the screenshot and send it in group. This is your homework today, guys. You will solve all these questions all over again. ठीक है? You can take help of graphs. Whatever possible way you can solve this question, try them at home. You can take help of table. You can take help of graphs. You can take help of this. It is a copy paste wala homework as well. Right? Yes, last three you will do with calculators because there are decimals involved. ठीक है? No, you can't. You don't know the value of 50 degree in your table. ठीक है? So please guys, do this as a homework today and it's my very kind request कि आज के आज ही करो. Do it today itself. You will find yourself bit confident. ठीक है? Okay. Now let's move towards the next question. ठीक है? हाँ, this. Now here it is going to be very much interesting. कैसे? You have to simplify these questions now. Okay? And how do we simplify these questions? Yes, it will cut out, but हमारे लिए answer important है. So I'll show you the process first. ठीक है? I'll show you guys the process first. Sin pi by 3 is what they are saying. What are they saying? What is sin pi by 3? Pi by 3 is 60 degrees. ऐसे क्विक आंसर आना चाहिए. Sin pi by 3 is root 3 by 2. So arc sin root 3 by 2. Correct? Does it lies in my domain? -1 to 1 के बीच में है. Right? What is my domain? -1 के 1 के बीच में है. Okay, it's lying in my domain. Now इसका inverse निकालना है. So sin goes from pi by 2 to minus pi by 2 only. It is lying in first quadrant. So answer will be pi by 3 itself. Answer is what? So guys, always remember, if angles in between, if angles given here are acute angles, what angles? Acute angles. So sine inverse sine x, if x is an acute angle, your answer will be x only. Your answer will be what? If it is obtuse angle, then for obtuse angle you have the different values. You have what? Different values. Obtuse angle have the same value. Answer is same, but for obtuse angle, let's say instead of pi by 3 you have been given 2 pi by 3. What you have given? The answer of 2 pi by 3 is root 3 by 2 only. But when you take inverse of 2 pi by 3, when you take inverse of 2 pi by 3, that inverse, this is going in obtuse angle category, right? The inverse will not be 2 pi by 3 only. मतलब इसका आंसर जो भी है ना 2 pi by 3 का root 3 by 2 ये आंसर आएगा. ठीक है? 2 pi by 3 का आंसर will be root 3 by 2 only, but its inverse will not be 2 pi by 3. Its inverse will be pi by 3 only, because 2 pi by 3 goes beyond my range. How many of you understanding this point? Please raise your hands. Yes, that's the point. Okay.
So it's the same for tan cos, right?
No. See. It's again about domain. It's again about what? डोमेन. सो तुम्हारा tan एंड साइन का डोमेन इज सेम. सॉरी, इट्स अगेन अबाउट रेंज. इट्स अगेन अबाउट व्हाट? रेंज. क्योंकि हमारा साइन का रेंज इज गोइंग फ्रॉम -π/2 टू π/2 एंड कॉस tan का रेंज इज ऑल्सो गोइंग फ्रॉम -π/2 टू π/2, राइट? बट कॉस का रेंज इज गोइंग फ्रॉम वेयर टू वेयर? 0 टू π, राइट? सो हम उसके लिए डायरेक्टली रट्टाफाई नहीं कर सकते. सो व्हाट वी डू, लुक एट दिस, लुक एट कॉस फंक्शन. ठीक है. नाउ हियर फॉर कॉस दिस इज इन द डोमेन, यस और नो? Now, how many of you remember this, that cos minus theta is nothing but cos theta? How many of you know this property? I'll explain. If you don't know this property, I'll explain. But how many of you know this, that cos minus theta is cos theta only? The logic is very simple, guys. Minus theta lies in the fourth quadrant, and in fourth quadrant cos is what? So that's why minus cos theta will be what? Cos theta only, right? So इसका जो भी आंसर आएगा, वॉट एवर विल बी द आंसर फॉर दिस, दैट आंसर विल बी आर cos minus π/6 is √3/2 only. It will be what? √3/2. But when you take inverse of this, it comes for what? π/6 के लिए आता है आंसर. किसके लिए आता है आंसर दिस? So the answer will be π/6. Here answer was -π/6, but we got the final answer as π/6. How many of you understanding it? Raise your hands. Those who are understanding it, please raise your hands. Very good. Very good. So now you understand why it is the combination of original trigonometry and inverse trigonometry. Because for original trigonometry, you need all after school to college. But for inverse trigonometry, for sine, you need only these two. For tan, you need only these two. And for cos, you need only these. Is my point clear? I hope you guys have understood the concept of inverse trigonometry now. ठीक है? Now, everyone will try question F. Everyone will try question F. Guys, please try question F. Okay, Huzefa is done. Arun is also done. Guys, those who are understanding the question, please raise your hands. Jugadvir, are you understanding it or not? I didn't get your logic. क्या बोला?
So wouldn't the arc sine and sine be cancelled off in this case?
Why? Why is my question? So guys, focus here. इधर देखो. Arc sine. Now see, 4π/3 can also be written as pi plus π/3. Yes or no? Correct? So pi plus π/3 will go in third quadrant. कौन से quadrant में जाएगा? In third quadrant, sine is what? Negative. Sine is what? Negative. Yes or no? So in short, π/3 is nothing but √3/2. So my answer will come here, negative √3/2. How many of you understood this point? Please raise your hands. We use this pi just to understand कौन से quadrant में जा रहा है. We always make the angle acute angle only. We take help of pi/2 or pi just to make sure कि कौन से quadrant में जा रहा है. वंस वी नो व्हाट क्वाड्रेंट इट गोज इनटू, पाई का और पाई बाय 2 का वैल्यू उधर ही खत्म, राइट. एंड एज इट इज मूविंग फ्रॉम पाई, so sine will remain sine only, right? Guys, how many of you understood this point? Please raise your hands. I explained it again. ठीक है. Now sine inverse minus root 3 by 2 है बिडू. Remember sine का ग्राफ? Sine का ग्राफ goes like this, yes or no? So negative root 3 by 2 will be here. So it means the value has to be negative. So root 3 by 2 comes for what? Minus pi by 3. So arc sine minus pi by 3 will be the answer. Minus pi by 3 is the answer. How many of you have got this answer? Please raise your hands. Those who have got this answer, very good. Yes, we always convert it in acute angle. And understand one thing, once you convert it in acute angle, that angle is only the final answer. So see here, when you convert it into the acute angle, ये आ जाता था sine minus pi by 3. Yes or no? Because in third quadrant sine becomes negative, correct? So minus pi by 3 is only the answer. Those who understood, please raise your hands. Guys, those who have understood this logic, please raise your hands. ठीक है, very good. Now see, Mihir, are you understanding it or not? Mihir, Ryan, then Shardul, Yuval.
Yes, sir.
Yuval Agarwal.
Yes, sir, understood.
ओके, ठीक है. इस पीडीएफ में भी सेम थिंग ही मेंशन किया हुआ है, वॉट एवर आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड. सो वॉट एवर पीडीएफ आई विल शेयर टुडे, यू गाइज विल गो थ्रू दिस पीडीएफ, ठीक है. एंड दिस क्वेश्चंस, इसका भी एक स्क्रीनशॉट लेके ग्रुप में शेयर कर दो. समवन जस्ट टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट. आई एम कीपिंग सम आंसर्स एज इट इज, so that you guys, when you are trying it at home, you'll have some reference point. ठीक है. Someone just take the screenshot and share in group. Okay. Yes. Done. अच्छा, Mihir is not in meeting only. Divyan, just take the screenshot and share in group. Okay, ठीक है. Now I'm just going to show you one more way of understanding the unit circle. ठीक है. देखो 15 minutes बाकी है, 15 minutes will be enough to understand. Okay. Guys, we already know this table. See, 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Okay. For sin theta, for cos theta, for tan theta, correct? 0, 1 upon 2, 1 upon root 2, root 3 upon 2, 1. 1, root 3 upon 2, 1 upon root 2, 1 upon 2, 0. 0, 1 upon root 3, 1, root 3, not defined. Why I write it always in front of you? To make sure कि तुम लोगों को ये समझ में आए कि it takes less than a minute to write. So that तुम आलसीपना मत करो एग्जाम से पहले. It takes hardly 1 minute to write. ठीक है. Now see, we have already discussed this thing in class कि whenever we are discussing unit circle, we know that whatever coordinate we have, that is in the form cos theta comma sin theta. How many of you know this? Please raise your hands. Very good. ठीक है. Now, those who don't know, I'll again quickly explain. See, this is the triangle I'm considering. This angle is theta and it is a unit circle. So therefore, radius of this circle is what? 1. In this triangle, this is my opposite side, this is my hypotenuse. So I will use sin theta. Sin theta will be equals to opposite upon hypotenuse. So opposite distance will be equals to hypotenuse times sin theta. Hypotenuse is 1. So opposite side is equals to sin theta. And this opposite side is nothing but the vertical distance, and vertical distance is nothing but y value, that is nothing but O. That's why vertical coordinate is sin theta. किसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट में? मतलब ये ट्रायंगल की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. वो ट्रायंगल है बेटा, राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल है वो. क्यू है मतलब वो इसलिए है ताकि तुमको समझ में आए कि cos थीटा क्यू अपोजिट साइड है, sin थीटा क्यू एडजेसेंट साइड है, लाइक दैट, राइट. So I am just finding opposite side. Opposite side is coming as sine theta, and opposite side is a vertical distance. Vertical distance is the y coordinate. Horizontal distance is the x coordinate. So using same logic, you get the cos theta, right? Now here, if you keep only one additional point in mind, that is reflections. What is the point? Reflections. So see, here if I am taking x comma y, what did I take? X comma y. Reflection along x axis. Reflection along x axis. May guys tell me what will change, x or y? In reflection along x axis, what coordinate will change? X coordinate or y coordinate? Y coordinate. So this will become x comma minus y. What it will become? X comma minus y. If I reflect it along y axis, what coordinate will change? X coordinate. So it will become minus x comma y. Okay? Now guys, understand one thing. Now I am showing you the bigger picture. Ki how this remembering only first values, first quadrant ka values can help you understand all other quadrants. Okay? So I am just zooming it out and I am drawing one big circle here. Okay? So I am drawing one big circle here, and in this circle I am going to take certain angles. So let's say this is 0 degree angle, this is 30 degree angle, this is 45 degree angle, this is 60 degree angle, and this is 90 degree angle. Here only we understood that x coordinate is cos theta, y coordinate is sin theta. Yes or no? Acha, till here whatever I explained, how many of you understood? Just raise your hands. Let me see how many of you understood what I am doing. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. Now I am just writing down the coordinates. Okay? Now this is on x axis only. So x coordinate when theta is 0 degree. When theta is 0 degree, x coordinate. So x coordinate is cos theta, y coordinate is sin theta. Yes or no? So what is the value of x? 1. What is the value of y? 0. At 30 degree, what is the value of x? Root 3 by 2. What is the value of y? 1 by 2. At 45 degree, x is 1 upon root 2. So this is 1 upon root 2 comma 1 upon root 2. At 60 degree, it is root 3 by 2 and 1 upon 2. So it is 1 upon 2 comma root 3 by 2. And at 90 degree, x is becoming 0, y is becoming 1. So x is becoming 0, y is becoming 1 at 90 degrees. How many of you understood this logic? Please raise your hands. कुछ भी नहीं किया मैंने बस जो टेबल मेरे सामने लिखा हुआ है उसी को उठा के यहां पे सर्कल में पुट कर दिया. Only 6 students. What about others? Ryan, Arun, Shardul, Pranshu. Yes or no, guys? Correct? ठीक है. Now next point. Everyone, this is interesting. ठीक है? Now see, what did I say? From this single quadrant, you can derive all other values. कैसे? If you just reflect it along y-axis. किसके along reflect कर रहे हैं? Y-axis, sorry, x-axis के along. If you reflect it along x-axis, so जो ऊपर 30 है, वो नीचे 30 होगा. जो ऊपर 45 है, वो यहाँ 45 होगा. जो ऊपर 60 है, वो यहाँ 60 होगा. जो ऊपर 90 है, वो यहाँ 90 होगा. Yes or no? Right? I hope this point you are understanding. Next, whatever x coordinate you have here, it will remain x only, but your y coordinate will become negative. Whatever x coordinate you have here, it will remain x only, but your y coordinate will become negative. Whatever x coordinate you have here, it will remain x only, but your y coordinate will become negative. Same to same, x coordinate will remain same, y coordinate will become negative. And you tell me, in fourth quadrant, sine is what? Negative. All your sine values are what? Negative. So if I tell you, if you want to find sine 30 degree, if you want to find sine 30, you know sine 30 is 1 upon 2, right? But if I ask you now, what is sine 330 degree? So it is nothing but sine minus 30, yes or no? That is reflection along y-axis, sorry, x-axis. So it will be minus 1 by 2. It will be what? How many of you understanding this logic? Please raise your hands. Those who are getting this logic. Very good. Now, guys, you have to reflect it along what? Y-axis. Now, when you reflect it along y-axis, जो भी तुम्हारा यहाँ पे 30 डिग्री है, whatever 30 degree you have, it will become pi minus 30. Whatever 45 degrees you have, it will become pi minus 45 degree. If you want to calculate it from the 0 degrees, this is our 0 degree, na? This is our 90 degree. If you want to calculate it from that side, it will be minus pi minus 45. Here it will be 60 degrees. I am calculating from horizontal line only. ठीक है ना? So this will become, now your x will become negative. What will become negative? X will become negative. So you will get values like this. And it remains the same. Same to same will happen here as well. So this will become pi plus 30. This will become what? Pi plus 30. This will become pi plus 45. This will become pi plus 60. This is 45. This is 60. This is 30. So pi plus 30. You have whatever value you have, it will become minus root 3 by 2 comma minus 1 by 2. It will become minus 1 by root 2 comma minus 1 by root 2. And this will become minus 1 by 2 comma minus root 3 by 2. This is how you get the unit circle. So just knowing few values can help you get all other values. How many of you understood it? Please raise your hands. This is the one way you can understand the unit circle. Getting it? You can follow this way, or the graph way is also good. No restriction. You can use any one of them. ठीक है? I hope this point is clear. Okay? Now from here, if I ask you, देखो इसका एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो बस. Someone just take the screenshot and share in group quickly. क्योंकि मैं अभी ये थोड़ा खराब करूंगा तो फिर वो undo नहीं कर पाऊंगा. ठीक है? Someone just take the screenshot. Divyan, Vanish, Ryan, whoever it is. Okay. Now see guys, if I ask you cos 60, क्या पूछा मैंने? Vidu, क्या पूछा? If I'm asking you cos 60, you can quickly answer. Cos 60 is nothing but 1 by 2, right? And you also know that cos pi minus 60 कितना होगा? So pi minus 60 is how much? 120. So see, यहाँ तक 60 है. This 30 plus this 30. So 60 plus 60 is 120, right? So cos that will be minus 1 by 2. क्या होगा वो? How many of you understanding this? Please raise your hands. ठीक है? It will take some time to digest. It will take some time to digest when you repeatedly visit this point. ठीक है? Okay? I hope this point is understood now. ठीक है? Okay. Fine. Before next class, I want you guys to try the questions that I have shared on group. Same to same. यहाँ पे बहुत कम questions है. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9 questions. ठीक है? You can try some questions from here as well. जितना तुम practice करोगे, उतना तुम्हारे लिए अच्छा. Is my point clear, guys? Okay? I'm sharing this in group. You will try it as a homework before Thursday. Those who will try it, they will find Thursday's class bit easy. And Thursday, we will be starting with calculus. क्या start करेंगे? Calculus. Those who have understood whatever I explained in class today, please raise your hands. Those who have understood, just raise your hands. Let me see how many of you have understood. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. Ryan, Yuval, okay. अरुण, आरव, समझ में आया जो भी सिखाया? आरव बोरा? यस. ओके. नाउ गाइज अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग. देखो कल तक मैं वीकेंड्स का फिक्स टाइम टेबल भेज दूंगा. आई जस्ट हैव अ क्विक क्वेश्चन. AAHL स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ आई एम आस्किंग फॉर योर प्रेफरेंस. विल यू प्रिफर क्लास ऑन सैटरडे 10 AM? Yes or no? Raise your hands. If yes, raise your hands. 10 AM in morning.
11 is better
11 is better.
That's a usual time, right?
Yeah.
That's better, sir.
ठीक है. Okay, 11 is better. ठीक है, fine. 11 or 12. Actually, we usually have classes, physics class at 11, maths class at 12 on Saturdays. ठीक है? Physics class at 11, maths class at 12 for AAHL. Is my point clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? Saturday. Sunday, mostly the same time only. 11. ठीक है? Okay, guys. Fine. ठीक है. So that's it for today. Okay. We'll stop here. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Physics students on Wednesday and economics students on Wednesday. That's it for today. Bye bye. Good night. Take care. And Shaurya, just text me hi on WhatsApp. Shaurya, text me hi on WhatsApp. Jugadvir, you too.
Bye, sir.
Yes, Divyan.